Hi, Dean Crabbe here from C2 Solutions, your cloud systemization expert. Today I want to show you how to get all the stuff that's in your email and put them into a proper task management solution really easily. And so we work with Asana, and there are a few extensions you can get in the Chrome Web Store built by third parties to do this type of thing. But the one provided by Asana, which is called Asana for Gmail, you can get in the Google Marketplace. Okay, and when you install that, it puts an extension down the right hand side of your email, and there's some really great capability and integration between the two. So that's what I want to show you today. It's how to use the Asana for Gmail add-on and turn emails into tasks. Now, as I mentioned, this is something your Google administrator will have to install for your enterprise, and once it's done, it can take about anywhere from 30 minutes to a day to appear. For me, it took about half an hour when I did it, and it'll then appear not just in your inbox, but on the right-hand side when you go into an email. So I'm just going to take you over to my computer now, and I'll dive in and start showing you how to basically authenticate to it and start using it. So I'm in an email here, and I was waiting for it to appear on the right hand side here, but it doesn't appear when you're in your inbox. You actually have to go into an email, okay, and then you get this up here. So if you click on it, it then asks you to authorize. Okay, so I'm going to authorize. And this is as far as I got before, and then I stopped. I thought I'm going to capture this on film. So let's click that. I'm going to authorize it under this account. Okay, approve what it needs to do. And then I got to obviously log into my Asana, which you can log into Asana using your Google account, which makes it super easy. Okay, allow. Okay, and we're in. Okay, so now that we're in the email and signed into Asana, you get the widget appearing like this, okay? And you can instantly either search for a task or create a task. Now, before we do that, I want to give you a few extra things to think about. One thing I noticed is initially when I started creating a task, I couldn't pick the right assignee, and I realized I was in the wrong organization. So the first thing you need to do is come over to settings and check that what workspace you're in here and change it to the right workspace, okay? And then that will correct that problem. Now, so when you go to find an assignee, they'll appear for you. Now, the other thing I noticed is a bit of a bug here. This is using my personal email address here. And I'm actually logged into my business email account. So it's obviously picked up that I'm authenticated to multiple accounts here, and it's showing the wrong one here, but it is actually using my proper business account. So when I create tasks from this, it does land into my Asana business account, okay? So that is a bug I've noticed, but you can just ignore it. Now, if you've never, this is a really, really interesting point. If you've never created a task for an email before, it'll appear like this. So you know there's not a task for that email, okay? Now what's handy is it keeps a relationship between what task you logged for that email or what task you last had open when you're working in an email. So you'll see if I go back, just before I create a task, I'm going to show you. If I go back to this one, which I did on the last video, it'll load, and it loads here the task I created for this video. It's the same video name, so don't get confused. Same email name, don't get confused. It's just multiple copies of it in my inbox. Okay, but this one here, when I create the task, you can see it loads. That's handy to kind of look and say, oh, okay, so there is a task for this email, and what's the update on the thread of it? Okay, and you can then down here post comments. I'll show that in a moment. Okay, so just going back, let's start at the beginning. We'll go back to this email here. Okay, so there's no task for this one. I'm going to create a new task, and when you do that, it pulls in the name, okay, and it puts this stuff here. I'm going to delete that out, okay, because I like just to have the name. Now, once you've got the name, or you edit it the way you want, you can then change the assignee. Again, make sure you got the right workspace. You can search for them and find them. Now, one thing is I noticed if I search and then hit enter, it doesn't do anything. You have to click, okay. A little bit of a small annoyance there, but anyway, I can live with it. I'll pick Denise, and then you can pick a due date here, okay? Now notice if you pick one of these dates, it'll actually change. If I say next week, it'll set an actual date like, 19th of March date there. And then from there, you're stuck into manually editing. The other thing to be aware of is if you set it manually, it kind of doesn't do anything. It'll log it, and then you have to go over to Asana, open it in Asana, and then change the date there, okay? So it doesn't have a date functionality unless you probably pick one of these and then type the specific date, okay? So I'm just going to say it's due tomorrow. You see how it changes the date? Now here then I can now manually alter that to say, well, I want it to be the 18th or something, okay? And then you can write a description. There's no fancy capability here to do bullet points or any other stuff you get as markup like you do in Asana, but you can still write regular comments. You can then pick your project. It'll load your list, your project list, and you can search for, like I can search for the C2 admin project. Okay, and then you can add, you can choose whether the email is going to be appended into the task and to make it public. And then you go create task, and it'll go off and it'll do that for you. Now I'm just going to move my head out the way here. Okay, so there's our task and it appears here. Now you can't make this wider, which I find a little bit is unfortunate. I'd like to be able to make that a bit wider. Okay, but you can scroll down and read what's going on, and if you want to, you can post a comment, add additional comments. Again, there's no fancy markup, but you can do that and then post comment. Now, I didn't originally see this box here, and I went post comment thinking it would open some other box that I could then comment in. But so if you click that and you didn't write anything, you'll get this error, could not post a comment. Okay, so you've got to click there to put your comment in. Obviously, lastly, you can mark the task as complete here. I couldn't see a way to change once it's done. You can't change the assignees or projects, or you can't attach things, okay? Naturally, you could pick a link from Google like this. You could say, grab the link and paste it in. That would work perfectly fine as well. Okay, so you could put that link in there to link in a file from Google that way, but you can't attach files through this mechanism. Okay, so you can post that comment, and then you can mark it as complete, which I said. And lastly, you can open it in Asana, which will open in full screen mode here. Okay, and you'll see, so there's no sidebar unless I click here, and then it will flick back to non-full mode. So, and there's the task, and if I want to, I can change the date or do anything else I want to. Okay, and there's the email body that originally appears in there. Okay, that copied over. So as I mentioned, the nice thing then is when I come back into this email, this will load on the side. Okay. Now the one caveat is if I'm in here and then I then go and search for another task. So say I search, so it says recently viewed tasks for this one. If I then search for I don't know, something for Entreport. Okay, do search. Again, need to click. If I then say this one, open that task, when I come back to this email, that's the task that'll open in the sidebar, not the one I logged for it. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you search and open a task when you're in an email, that relationship then sticks. So you can see that happening here. If you go back, this is the first example I did, back up here. When I open this one, I get another task showing, which is about the drip feeder, because that's one I searched and viewed, okay? So that is just something to keep in mind when you're searching for tasks. I'll go down to this one, back to this one. It'll load my tasks, so I really like that it does that. Okay, there's a task relating to this email. Okay, and then if, as I've shown you, you can search for tasks by going search for task and then typing in what you're searching for. Just keep in mind, it keeps a relationship between what email is open, okay, and what email's open and what's showing in the sidebar, which is very powerful, but can be confusing if you start then searching for other things. Okay, otherwise, obviously jump over to your Asana and then start working in there and doing what you need to that way. So that is how to use the Asana to Gmail add-on to take tasks, emails, sorry, and put them in as tasks. Hope you really enjoyed that video. If you like other goodies like this. We're putting out videos all the time, and I'm going to be recording a ton in the future. Okay, I'm in the studio a lot now. You can subscribe to us up here. Okay, go to our website, c2solutions/subscribe. There's also a YouTube channel. It's growing very quickly, and if you go in there, make sure you click the subscribe icon in the YouTube and the little notification, and you'll get instant notification of when we release these videos out. We're probably not sending them all out in blogs, so that's a good way to get all of our videos if you're interested in our videos. Secondly, you can also go to our Facebook pages and you can get access to them there, or join in the conversation at the C2 Coffee Club for other businesses systemizing and trying to do good stuff in what they're doing. Lastly, if you want our ebook, you can get our ebook. This is all the apps we recommend to businesses for systemizing, and we then help them go and systemize their businesses. Okay, so if you're interested in what apps we use, there's your answer. You can go and get that from our website. I'm Dean Crabb. Happy systemizing. Hope you enjoyed this video.